You watched a movie last night and had to pause it halfway through because the silence felt too loud. A character said something so raw that it hit you like a physical punch to the chest. It was not even a dramatic scene, but it reminded you of words spoken to you years ago. Those are the words you still find yourself arguing with when you cannot sleep at night. Or maybe you walked into a room this morning and immediately felt a heavy, suffocating weight. You did not know why until you realized the person sitting across from you was quietly falling apart. It is like your emotional system has no filter and no off switch for absorbing what others feel. You have spent your life wondering why everything lands so hard on you while others stay unaffected. Why a small, careless comment stays with you for days while they have already forgotten they said it. You leave social situations feeling completely drained while everyone else seems to be getting energized. If you feel everything too deeply, the first thing you need to hear is that you are not broken, you are not too much, and you are not a problem that needs to be fixed by the world. But you do need to understand what is actually happening inside you to stop the constant exhaustion. Sometimes emotions hit you so fast they feel less like feelings and more like a total takeover. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race, and your body responds like there is a real life or death emergency. Psychologists call this emotional flooding, where your nervous system goes into a full-scale crisis mode. Think of that one-word text reply you received when you were expecting a full, thoughtful paragraph. Even though you knew they were probably just busy, your body felt like something was genuinely wrong. It is not you being dramatic. It is your system processing data faster than your conscious mind can keep up. You also possess a rare trait that most people simply do not have. You notice absolutely everything. The micro-expression that crossed someone's face for half a second before they forced a polite smile. The way the energy in a room shifts the very moment a certain person walks through the door. The specific pause before someone says they are fine that tells you they are absolutely not fine. Psychologists call this sensory processing sensitivity, and it is a biological reality for your brain. At a gathering, you are tracking unspoken tension between two people that nobody else has even acknowledged. You are noticing how someone's laugh sounds slightly forced while feeling overwhelmed by the surrounding noise. Within an hour, you are exhausted because your brain is processing layers of information others do not register. Here is the part others do not understand. Someone else's emotions literally become your own emotions. You are not just understanding how they feel, you are feeling it in your body as if it happened to you. Psychologists call this emotional contagion, a mirroring of the nervous system that you cannot easily stop. Your coworker sits down feeling frustrated, and within 10 minutes, you feel irritable for no nameable reason. This is not a weakness. It is your empathy system mirroring what it senses before your mind can intervene. While most people process a feeling and move forward, you revisit those moments again and again. Something happens, and you feel it in slow motion, in replay, and in anticipation of it happening again. Psychologists call this rumination, where the brain treats unresolved feelings like puzzles that must be solved. You send a message that gets left on read and spend hours wondering if you came across the wrong way. That night, you lie in bed rewriting the entire conversation with better, more perfect versions of yourself. 3 days later, when they finally reply, you are still carrying the heavy weight of those days of silence. But some feelings cannot be solved. They just need to be felt fully and then finally released. Because you feel so deeply, people are naturally drawn to you when their own lives fall apart. You are the one who actually listens, who sits in the dark with them and makes them feel seen. But there is a hidden cost. You absorb their pain until it feels like your own relationship just ended. Psychologists call this compassion fatigue, and it is a very real threat to your mental well-being. You spend an hour holding space for a friend's heartbreak, and while they feel lighter, you feel shattered. You cannot run high voltage through a standard wire forever, without something eventually burning out. When a deep feeler burns out, it is terrifying because it looks like the exact opposite of who you are. You reach a point where you have given so much energy that you have nothing left for yourself. Psychologists call this emotional exhaustion, a state of complete depletion where the lights have gone out. A text from a loved one asking for support feels like an impossible task, so you leave it unread. When this happens, you think you are becoming cold, but you are actually just running on empty. Nobody ever taught you that your empathy needs to be replenished, not just endlessly given away. You have probably been told your whole life to grow thicker skin and to not take things so personally. You have tried to follow this advice, but if there was a volume knob, you would have turned it down. All of that advice treats your sensitivity like a malfunction when it was never a mistake to begin with. It is a different architecture, and you cannot fix something that was never broken in the first place. The goal was never to feel less. The goal is to learn how to stop drowning in what you feel. The same capacity that absorbs pain also lets you experience joy and beauty more fully than most ever will. A piece of music does not just sound good, it moves through your body and changes your state of being. A moment of genuine connection does not just feel nice, it feels like coming completely and vibrantly alive. You notice sunsets that others walk past, and you feel gratitude so deeply it brings tears to your eyes. Your problem is not that you feel too much, it is living in a world that feels incredibly loud. The shift comes from learning to tell the difference between what is genuinely yours and what you absorbed. When you feel heavy and cannot trace it back to yourself, ask, is this emotion actually mine? That question creates a small but real space between you and the emotional weather of everyone around you. You're not too sensitive for this world. You are exactly what a world in pain desperately needs right now.